So hi everyone, welcome back to, I think this is episode 3 of our Dev Q&As. I'm Al, I'm one of the community managers for Sanctuary Shattered Sun, and I have with me Mike, better known to all of you as nine2. Are you good?
Yeah, doing great. And you?
I'm not going to complain too loudly. I'm British and we don't do complaining. Stiff upper lip. So I wanted to bring you on just to get a bit of an update. It's been, I think our last one of these was a couple of months ago, so we've been a bit shoddy. So I can only apologise for that. But we've got some questions to go through, Mike. Some of them will be nice and easy. Some of them will test the old grey matter. Are you ready to begin?
Okay.
There'll be no tests. But we are going to start with one which is often touted, and not just on here, but also all over the Discord and our social medias, and that's about an update on the Kickstarter. When are we looking at it being open, and the same with the demo?
Yeah, so the Kickstarter is going to have to slip a little bit, which isn't the news that we wanted to deliver today, but we are going to have to do it. We're still hoping to get it out this year, but the truth is we've had to focus on other things as a team. We are still waiting to get that mission out. The plan is still to launch the mission out to Steam to get those 120,000 wishlisters playing the mission, driving them all to the Kickstarter. So it's a good plan, and we want to make sure we do the best job of that plan. We don't want to take any shortcuts. We could launch the Kickstarter today if we wanted to. It's there. We can do it. We could launch the demo, but we want to do better. And the reception to the demo is already really good. But every time we do something, we realize just how much better it could be. We're talking about cinematics. We're talking about voice acting. I'm wondering if we should translate the thing. Apparently, only 30% of gamers on Steam speak English as a native language. So I know a lot of publishers encourage to translate things before you go live. So I don't know if we'll do that one. And it's just a massive challenge, we're trying in one mission to teach all of the gameplay mechanics, make it fun, explain the lore, give the player a fun mission with a bit of progression in it. That's a massive, massive challenge. And we have other challenges as well. We've been working on lots of other different things and parts of the game. So, you got to keep in mind that we're 10 people working on this game, right? We got 10 full-time people and 4 part-time people. On similar games, they have 300 people working on it. So, something's got to slip. We can't do everything. It's just not possible. And we've raised for the stars. We've shot for the stars. And I am so proud of our team. We have done such a good job and gotten so far. And everything just looks great. And it plays great. It feels great. All the feedback is great. So we just want to keep that going, keep that quality going, make the mission as good as the rest of it. And, to do that, we need time. So I know this is going to frustrate some of the audience who have been waiting for a very long time, but it's not there, and we're going to get it there. So that's the plan, and please stay patient. It is coming, I promise, but we just need to polish it.
I think there will be some disappointed people listening to that, of course there will, but I guess it's a situation of, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. That's something that my mum used to say to me, and it rings true here. And I guess the situation with this is you want to be able to put something out which is going to knock people's socks off, which is going to blow people away. And you don't want to do it half-hearted, do you?
The longer that we wait, the better the reception will be at Kickstarter, the more money we'll raise, the more stretch goals we'll tick off. So the best thing for everyone, if you want to play the game, you want the game to be good, we just need to wait. That's the best thing.
So delays are a good thing.
Delayed gratification.
Delays are a good thing, then.
That's what it's about. In this case, yeah, the delay is going to lead to a better game for everybody. It's not great. I know it's frustrating. I know it's annoying. It's frustrating for us as well, but it's for the right reasons.
I'm trying not to be annoyed.
No, you can be annoyed.
I'm trying not to be, but I think that you're right, and I guess the way to look at it is that if you put out a half-hearted product, then people aren't going to buy into it, which means that ultimately the quality of the final product will be impacted significantly. Whereas if you put out a great product, which is what will come from delaying it a little bit, you'll have more people interested, which means that you'll get more money from the Kickstarter, which means you can put out a better product and everybody benefits.
That's right.
Yeah.
There is a direct correlation between waiting and getting more game. They are the same thing. So we should wait. And that's what we're doing. So that's one thing that we've always done on this team is we don't compromise on quality, we compromise on time. So we only have the 10 people. But when something slips, it's time that slips, and that's why, like, Sanctuary is going and looks as good as it does. Mm-hmm.
So you said that the Kickstarter could be launched now. So I take it must be in quite a good place. Have you had people look at the Kickstarter? You know, I'm not one of them. There's Kickstarter experts. Has anybody looked at your Kickstarter and what do they think?
Yeah, so there's two parts. There's the Kickstarter page itself, and then there's the demo that will launch with the Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So lots of Patreon people have seen the demo, but that's without the mission. So that's going to come on top and finish the job on that. Then there's a Kickstarter page. So it's a big page with lots of pictures and animations and headings and rewards and tiers. And we've had that reviewed by Kickstarter. They say that's very good. We have 7,000 people who are signed up for notifications on that, and they say that's great numbers, and we're like far exceed most of the other games that launch Kickstarters. And if you look at all of the big RTS Kickstarters, we're better than like the last 3, right? Big ones. So we're doing really, really great on that front. And they say we're pegged to go really well. And, you know, really well doesn't mean like millions of dollars. Really well means like 600,000 or something like that. So that's how it is today. With all the other stuff, it will go even better. So, I don't know how it's going to go well, how great it's going to be. We don't know. We never knew. But chances are good. This is going to be something.
And the other part of the situation is the demo mission as well. How's that coming along? What can we expect to see on that?
Yeah, so the demo's trying to do like 50 things at the same time, which is a massive challenge, just like what I was talking about before. We're trying to introduce the players to the lore of the game, because the Steam audience, they don't even know it's on a Dyson sphere. They don't know what Shatter is. They don't know what the factions are or what Chosen is or anything like that. So we have to find a way to explain all of that in a really short amount of time, because actually you find once you're writing scripts and stuff like that, you quickly have a mission that takes 2 hours to complete, which is like way too long. We're trying to get it down to like 40 minutes. And so it'll do that. It will also have like a bit of progression. So there'll be like different little parts of the mission. You start off with the lower tier units and, oh no, there's a PD. And then, you need the help that explains like what a PD is and how to counter one. And there's this whole like help system built into it and stuff to, for the non-veterans to learn like, how to play the game. And, it's quite complicated because, can they upgrade buildings? Do they have to upgrade buildings? Can they stall? Can they assist their buildings? Do they have to assist their buildings? There's lots of tricks, and, we're trying to make it so that a beginner RTS player from Steam can come, experience the game, and have fun all in one 40-minute mission. Now, most games, unfold all that over like many missions. So it's, that's why it's taking so long, because we've just bitten off more than we can chew, basically. But there will be lots of elements to that. So basically, the players weave through a mission, fun things happen, blow some stuff up, progress through the tiers, bigger and bigger things. I don't want to spoil it and give too much away, but have fun along the way with some shocking experiences. And at the end, the big, go check it out on Kickstarter right now video at the end. Okay. So that's the plan. Okay.
So it's coming along. Both streams are coming along. We're asking for a little bit of patience from the community.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
This isn't the first time this has happened. We've been doing this project for a long time, but like I say, for us, the thing that slips is time, not the quality. So we're just here again.
Let's keep it that way. Okay, we'll move on. I've got a couple of questions to go through, and I don't want to just be focused on this one thing. So, next question is: what type of game enders do you have planned?
So we just you progress through the technology levels. You end up hitting your experimental T4 type layer. So those are the giant bots that can walk into bases and just crush everything. There's also the static artillery and the nukes, which can shoot across the map and end the game that way. But we're introducing the T5 units, and you should see those soon because we have some of those. I don't have them ready for this, but you'll see them in the next month or 3. And those absolutely crush, absolutely just decimate everything, can walk through a base. They're about the same width as 6 factories. They're absolutely titanic, and if you build one, you win. And they cost ridiculous amounts of economy to build, but if you manage to build one, you get the reward and you get to destroy everything in style.
And I guess it's from what I've seen, it's either you say you build one and you win, but also if you build one and then you're not successful, you lose. Is that correct? That your king piece becomes the T5?
That's true. Like if anyone manages to kill it, then you lose. But it's unlikely that one of these things will ever die, to be honest. But what is likely is you will just die by trying to build it because it's just so expensive that you just can't build it, because the other guy will build 1 million tanks instead and roll into your base. So the only time you'd be able to build one is if the game is like totally static and paralyzed, and that's why it's a game ender. It's to break the stalemate. It's an economic victory, basically.
Mm-hmm. All right. Economy with giant stompy robots.
Yeah.
It's the best kind of economy. It's the best kind of economy, that.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. How balanced is the variety of units? How many units will there be per expansion level of the factory?
Yeah, so there's 3 main levels of tech 1, 2, 3, and then you have the experimentals and the T5 that we just talked about. On each tier, there's you've got your land, sea, and air units, and then there's a bit of deviation in there. You've got some that like land units that can go underwater, they can go on top of water, they can float, they're only on the ground. Hover tanks, stuff like that. And the way they shoot can be different. Sometimes you've got homing missiles, sometimes you've got laser beams, sometimes you've got your ballistic shots. So a bit of diversity and range and variety in those units, but there should be some more stuff coming out soon. We're talking about like EDA repurposing different technology as part of their factional identity, as part of them being a bit more guerrilla and strapped together, not really a formal army, kind of just improvising and stuff. So they could, like, for example, drop little canisters of liquid coolant on the enemy units, right, which causes them to freeze and stuff like that. So that's an example of this improvised tech, which is kind of becoming a trait of EDA that I kind of like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's quite interesting because I guess when I looked at the EDA, or when I first started exploring the EDA faction, I always thought of them as being the vanilla faction, almost like your GDF from the Command & Conquer games, and that kind of thing, like your stock human military faction. But that's not the case, is it?
Well, I kind of had those vibes as well, which was something I was never that happy with. I know there was always this plan to make them tricky, and tricky means to give them stealth and stuff like that. That's kind of the old plan. Moving forward, they'll have those elements, so they'll have stealth and a mobility unit that can move in a fancy way, like tunneling through the ground or something like that, and I could tunnel underneath a cliff maybe. But also this improvised tech. So really just like doing whatever it takes to, get a win. And that might be like, crashing your engineer drones into the enemy units as suicide bombers instead of using them as engineers. So if there's a way that you can strap some stuff together into a victory, PDA will find it.
We'll have to talk about that some more.
Yeah.
Another time. Maybe we could do some deep dives into these factions in some of the videos. What do you think? Good for that?
Yeah. Yep, there's a whole bunch of stuff we could talk about in that area, all the other factions, and going deeper. So yeah, let's do that. Okay,
just to be clear, it's not for anybody else. It's just for me. All right, that's it's what I want to know, not anybody else.
Gotcha.
So this is the next question here is: will there be serious countermeasures against special features or units in the game? So will there be an opportunity to defend against mobile artillery and experimentals? I guess this comes from the Supreme Commander style games, where once you've got your Mavor, or once you've got the Scathis, or you've got your T3 artillery, it becomes very difficult to then counter that. You just have to build lots and lots of shields and just hope that you manage to get something in. So have you got some intelligent ways of dealing with this?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same system. So, there's many counters to that. You can build your shields, you can go out into the field and bomb them. You just attack is the counter, or defend is the counter. So I know it's not a great one and people might struggle to do it, but they built the super unit, so you're going to get crushed. The only exception I'd say is like the T5, which will just crush you no matter what.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a case of don't let them get there, and that's often touted as the counter to many super weapons, isn't it? What's the best way to defeat? Is don't let them get there in the first place.
Strategy game. Mm-hmm. Good intel, right? Go scout, see them doing it, right? It will take them ages to build that unit, and you've got time to prepare. So I guess like step 1 is knowing what the counter actually is. So that's like a bit of research involved there. Step 2 is like scouting, so you know what's happening, and then be able to prepare that in advance, so when they come out with the unit, you just hit them with the counter. That's the theory.
Okay. And the theory works.
Very good player.
Right. So this ties into the we've had this debate occasionally about single player and multiplayer, and the difference between the two and what the focus should be on. And someone's asking, what official PvE modes will there be?
Yeah, so you've got the campaign, you've got the survival mode, which is currently in the demo, and that'll just get better and better. We also, the Warfront is kind of like a combination of the two. So, Warfront is our galactic war, right? Where it's the persistent map, heaps of different cells on it. And then you join a faction, you join a team of like real people, and you go and attack a zone. You might be fighting the computer, or you might be fighting a real person. And this is the secret sauce, is that on that giant map of Sanctuary with thousands of nodes, is some of those nodes are really simple beginner AIs, right? That you can attack and conquer for your faction. And although it was kind of a simple mission, you contribute because you want some resources for your team, right? And your team can spend that on research it, or their on their war machine. So this is like a persistent battle going for months of real time, made out of hundreds of individual skirmishes, and that will be a combination of player versus player and PvE. So that's kind of something new. We think that's kind of cool, and that's based on a lot of feedback that we've heard from talking to people. Is people are daunted, right? They don't want to play because it's scary. They don't want to play against humans. They want to play. So this is a way for those people to contribute in a small way to the Warfront.
And is the campaign is? I'm sure you mentioned this before, and if I'm wrong, just tell me. I'll cut this out. But did you not say the campaign is going to be co-op?
Yeah, the plan has always been for a co-op campaign. It'll probably be single player when it first comes out, but the co-op update will come out subsequently, and everybody loves that, right?
Absolutely, and that's as somebody who loves games but is terrible at playing them. I've always avoided multiplayer. It's because I'm just not very good, and I hate to lose as well, and I always do. So being able to play co-op is a good in for players like me to get into the multiplayer aspect of games and the community aspect of games, rather than just it being a single player experience. So that's quite interesting to me. The campaign, in terms of the time scales for the campaign, are we talking about, are these, take it, there'd be 3 campaigns, one for each faction. Are they going to run concurrently or consecutively? How is it looking to play out?
Consecutively. So it'll start with the EDA campaign, go into Chosen, and go into Guard after that. Depending on how well Kickstarter goes, will be how many missions in each campaign, but the idea is to play one after the other, and the stories will follow on from each other. So it doesn't like erase the whole past and start again or something like that.
So to get the full story, you need to really play them in the order that they've been determined.
Yeah, that's right. And with the PvE, mods, I'm sure lots of people will love making mods on Sanctuary. I'm sure there'll be a great claustrophobia mod. Makes so much sense on a Dyson sphere, where just the edges start like falling in and everyone's getting pushed into the center of the map like a battle royale type of thing. That just would look freaking amazing. So, I'm sure there will be heaps of game modes. And that's kind of why, one of the reasons why we put modding in as a tenant from like day one, that's what we were going to do, is just so that people can bring all of that extra stuff to the game, which is just so cool, and something that I've just loved to see over in other communities.
Which leads me nicely into the next question, which is about modding. And someone's asked, will the Steam Workshop be the primary place to get mods for the game? And what will be the best way to find them? Is it only going to be Steam Workshop, or do you plan on having something official?
No, there's no Steam Workshop plan at all.
Right, okay.
What it will be is we have our own client where you can run the game, and that will have the ability to install mods, upload mods, download mods, add them to your game. They'll auto-sync to other people, all that stuff. So that's the current plan at the moment. Steam Workshop doesn't come into it.
That's quite interesting, because I think a lot of people that tends to be the go-to, doesn't it, for when they're looking for mods for a game. So you're cutting that out completely.
Yeah, well, for now, we haven't gotten into that. We're still working on the game engine and the game content as number one. So that's kind of like the meta thoughts over that. There's also mod.io and stuff like that. So we'll figure it out later.
I suppose what you mentioned there about them auto-syncing is maybe the reason why this is a much better idea than going via the Steam route anyway, isn't it? Yeah,
well, you need to control the files that are on everybody's computers. It's really important, otherwise people can cheat. So you need to make it so the files I have are the files that you have. If people can just edit the files, so we need to control that quite rigidly, and we'll do several things to ensure that people aren't tampering with the files. Okay,
it's interesting. Yeah. I actually genuinely expect it to be Steam Workshop, so that's really interesting. You heard it here first, folks. Final question, then I'll let you get on with. It must be. Is it approaching bedtime or something? It's weird o'clock in Australia. Is it?
Fine.
You're okay. Final question, and you touched on this earlier, but I want to dive into it a little bit more. How many Titan-sized experimentals, similar to the King Cryptor from Supreme Commander 2 or something akin to a Warhammer 40k Knight, will be included in this game? And I want to add my own thing and say, we've seen T4. What comes next?
T5, baby. Yeah. So, how many? So I guess there's probably like 10 T4s per faction, and that's distributed over land, sea, and air. So already in the demo, you can see stacks of those. There's hovering bots. There's giant beetles. There's laser wielding walkers. So there'll be flying ones. There's already one gunship. There'll be naval ones. So that's about like 30 all up. But the T5s is where it's at, and there's just one per faction. So for the Chosen, with the hover tank, very big hover tank, and for Guard, it's a kind of like a flying battle base, I guess, in the sky. They're pretty cool. I'm excited about them. We'll show that next time, I think. That's not quite ready yet, but it's looking really, really cool. And for EDA, we don't know yet, so we're still looking for ideas on that, because it's got to be big, and we don't want to just make a unit. We want to pick a unit. So we're getting there. And then I was thinking about, because we need the word, is it a tight-end, is it experimental, all that sort of stuff. I was kind of like leaning towards the word megabots for the T4 and then gigabots for T5, because then if there was ever a T6, there would be terabots, and terabots just sounds cool. So I don't know what a terabot would be, though. It's like there would be units walking on the back of it or something like that. I don't know. That's Sanctuary 2 terabots.
Or DLC.
DLC.
DLC is where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay. That concludes our questions. The demo that you mentioned there, how do people play it? Because you can play it now.
Yeah, there are some people playing it now. They're on Patreon. We only want a small number of people playing it, so there's quite a price tag on that demo, and it will be for free later on when Kickstarter launches. So you can just wait. But if you can't wait, and if you want to support us and support in what we're doing, we have lots of lovely Patreons who are doing that at the moment. And thank you guys. Massive shout out to you guys, because you've helped us a lot, and your support has helped us expand the team and deliver more game. So, absolutely great. But yeah, if you just can't wait, go on Patreon, sign up. You get access to the demo in 24 hours. And all the updates after that. Then when Kickstarter comes out, that demo will be free for everybody. We'll send out an email. We'll paste it on all the socials. We'll just put it everywhere we possibly can. Facebook advertising, the whole shebang, and it'll probably appear on your Steam on the homepage as well, hopefully. So that's how to get the demo. You can wait, or you can jump on Patreon.
And just to clarify, that's the survival mode, and there's a couple of other parts, but it's not the demo mission that we're talking about at the start of this chat, is it?
No, that's right. That's going to be withheld until the actual launch. So, yeah, it's just survival, basically. So, it's fun. I have fun playing it. It's good. And there's different ways of seeing all the different content. You can see like performance test of you hit 2 units on the screen. You can see the all the effects and units, and the UI and all that sort of stuff. So you can see where it's going. But really, we need the mission and multiplayer, and then we're kind of finished, to be honest.
Okay, and so are we. So thanks very much for chatting to me. It's appreciated. It's always a pleasure, Mike. I'll let you crack on. Go make that game.
All right. Thanks heaps, Al. Good to talk. Cheers.
Speak to you soon.